It's Thursday, March 26th. The provincial government is set to table its 2026 budget at Queen's Park today. Police have laid charges in connection to the death of a crossing guard killed in a hit-and-run earlier this week.
I can tell you I've probably been through a few potholes with my bad car because the muffler is now loose.
And Ottawa's pothole patching machines are hitting the streets as the city gets ready for spring. Your Morning Ottawa starts right now. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining me here on Your Morning Ottawa. I am Melissa Lamb. Rosie and Will are both away today, so you are stuck with me for the entire day. And of course, it is a bit of a slippery drive in there so far this morning, and we do have a couple of collisions to tell you about so far on the roads. On the 417 westbound, the first one is at Saint Laurent, where only a single lane of traffic is getting through. And the second collision this morning is at Belfast, where we have a left lane and shoulder which is closed. So if you're coming in from the east end this morning, expect to take a while. And if you're coming in from the west end, there is also a collision on the 417 eastbound at Parkdale that has caused backups. Roads are very slippery this morning after we did see some freezing rain in the overnight. The Ontario government is set to table its 2026 budget this afternoon.
Many people, are hurting. Their costs of everything is very high, and that's why we've been very focused on affordability.
They have been wasting billions of dollars on their pet projects, and now they don't have the resources and the fiscal capacity to do the things that people need.
We need to see some strong affordability measures in that budget. We need the government to address in a real way the hallway healthcare crisis that we have in this province.
The province has already announced several new policies, but it does come with the warning that tougher times are ahead, especially during the current economic situation. The budget will be tabled in the House at 4 p.m. One of those policies is tackling housing and affordability, and they introduced a plan to remove the HST on all new home sales, a rebate that was previously only available to first-time home buyers.
I think it's a great idea for people to make housing more affordable for people. Even a little bit at a time will go a long way.
With home prices being so high right now, of course I'm all for it.
This is the most significant announcement for housing affordability that any level of government could make.
The provincial and federal governments coming together to remove the 13% HST on all new home sales in Ontario, up to $1 million. Premier Doug Ford says it will be in place from April 1st of this year until the end of March of next year. Federal legislation still needs to pass for the plan to become a reality. The price of gas has increased more than 30 cents a liter since the end of February, with prices expected to rise another 5 to 7 cents a liter this morning. Oil experts say the price reflects what happened in the market 2 days prior and is linked to the geopolitical tensions in the Middle East.
It's all moving on the mood swings of President Trump. The announcements he makes, whether the Iranian war there's going to be a peace situation or not. I don't know who to believe. He changes his mind every day. So the price is going up and down depending on what he pronounces on a given day.
With talks of a potential ceasefire ongoing, gas experts say it could drop by 6 to 7 cents tomorrow. A 19-year-old man appeared in court Wednesday afternoon and faces charges in connection with a fatal crash that killed an Ottawa crossing guard. 55-year-old Peter Clark died after he was struck by a pickup truck Monday morning. It happened at the intersection of Cedarview Road and Kenneville Drive. Police say Xander Wright has been charged with failing to stop after a fatal accident.
We will do everything we can to protect crossing guards and to protect the children that are walking to and from school every day. So if the investigation into this particular incident shows that there are solutions that we can provide that will make their jobs safer and that will make children's lives safer, we'll do everything we can.
Wright is scheduled to appear in court again tomorrow. Police say the investigation continues. A local member of parliament says there is overwhelming opposition among its constituents to the proposed Alto high-speed rail plan.
I sent a survey to everyone in my community. I've so far had 1,037 responses, with 95% of people opposing this route traveling through our community and 89% opposing this project overall.
The proposed route between Toronto and Quebec City would include a section in the Leeds and Grenville area. But MP Michael Barrett says there's been no public consultation in his community. The proposed route runs through Eastern Ontario farmland, sparking concerns from several communities about land expropriation. There are new details about a fire in the Byward Market earlier this week. Fire officials say the cause was an improperly discarded cigarette. This was the scene on Monday night. Fire investigators say they discovered unusual fire patterns outside a trap door and say a cigarette fell through the trap door onto combustibles in the basement, saying the blaze could have been much worse. A supportive housing project in Ottawa for people living with substance and disorders will not bear Matthew Perry's name. The project on Byng Drive was originally meant to be called Matthew Perry House in honor of the late Hollywood actor who called Ottawa home. The project is still going forward with support from the Royal Ottawa Community Housing and SALIS, but it will have a new name. City folk is looking for a new home. I'm feeling like I'm one in a million. The construction on the new event center at Lansdowne Park means the festival cannot be held on the Great Lawn in September. A spokesperson for Blues Fest telling CTV News Ottawa there is nothing official on a new site yet. City folk will be held in September. And Valerie Grenier of St. Isidore wrapped up the Alpine skiing season on a winning note. Grenier won the World Cup giant slalom race in Lillehammer, Norway yesterday. Grenier finished with a combination time of 2 minutes and 16 seconds. This is the third World Cup victory of Grenier's career and second podium appearance of the season. Exciting times and congratulations to her. And there still might be a little bit of skiing season left as we do have some colder temperatures on the way as we head towards the weekend. But so far this morning, we're just seeing some light freezing rain. So the freezing rain warning for Ottawa has just ended moments ago, but it is still in effect for parts of Eastern Ontario, including Cornwall and Hawkesbury. You can see that light turquoise color on your screen. That is where the freezing rain warning is in effect for. However, roads still slippery because we definitely did see some freezing rain earlier this morning. Temperatures today a little bit above the norm. We are waiting for the sun to be up around 6:53 a.m. and set at 7:23. So this is what we're seeing currently in our satellite radar. You can see that pink, most of it has gone through. So we did see some freezing rain overnight and early this morning, which is of course causing slippery driving conditions. We could still see a little bit here this morning, but for the most part, it will be cloudy this morning. A bit of sunshine to start off your day. Then we are expecting rain later on this afternoon. We are expecting rain in the forecast throughout most of the day today. We could see it mixed with some freezing rain and snow this evening as temperatures cool off. So because it will be warm in the afternoon, likely rain, but then we could see some snow throughout the later part of your day. Temperatures right now, we are hovering around -1. So that is why we did see that freezing rain. When we hover between +1 and -1, that is when we have ideal conditions for freezing rain. With the wind chill, though, it does feel closer to -4 this morning. So a bit of a warmer start than it was yesterday at this time, and warmer into the afternoon. 6 degrees is the high for today. Again, cloudy skies throughout the next few hours this morning. We will get to see a bit of sunshine this morning, but then scattered showers into the afternoon. Areas to the south of us, you're getting to see a bit more sunshine than rain today, but temperatures very mild across the region. Double digits for Kingston, Trenton, 6 for us here in Ottawa, same with over in Gatineau. Over the next couple of days, we still have a couple of cold days left, so great news for the ski hills. 6 is the high for today, then overnight dropping to -9. So we're going from 6 degrees to -9 overnight. Again, we could see some snow later on this evening as temperatures do drop down below that freezing mark. Staying cold for tomorrow, a daytime high of only -4 as we head into Friday. So very chilly conditions for tomorrow. Overnight dropping to -11. Saturday staying chilly with a high of only -1. Then finally some sunshine and warmer conditions as we head into Sunday and Monday next week. We will get to see lots of sunshine.
Weather is brought to you by Mādahòkì Tree. Complete tree care from start to stump.
And just a reminder, we do have those collisions to tell you about this morning. They are currently at the westbound lane of the 417 at Belfast. The 2 left lanes are closed. Also, we're seeing slowdowns eastbound of the 417 from Maitland into Carling. So we do have a couple of earlier morning collisions that are causing slowdowns this morning on your drive-in. Reminder that we did see some freezing rain overnight, so it could be slippery out there on your roads this hour. Now let's check out your TSN must-see moment.
Hey there, welcome inside the Sports Center newsroom. Lindsay Hamilton with your must-see moment from Wednesday. We are taking a trip to Indiana for this one. It's the Lakers visiting the Pacers, and in the second quarter, LeBron James takes it all by himself, and look at this, throwing it down with authority while getting fouled. James playing through the contact, delivers a monster slam, 41 years old, uses his left hand, puts the 28-year-old Jay Huff on a poster. Definitely worthy of your must-see moment. Meanwhile, today on TSN, you can see March Madness when the Sweet 16 tips off. Coverage begins 7 Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. That's all for now. The Sports Center newsroom. Have a fantastic day.
Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa.
Give pet owners options to have another alternative of where to buy their medication.
Paying for pet prescriptions, how recent changes allowing some pharmacies to fill prescriptions for pets could save you money. CTV's Pat Bourne tells us more just ahead. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam this morning. And yes, a wet start to your day. We saw some freezing rain overnight, so roads a little bit slippery this morning. Give yourselves some extra time. Good morning, Ottawa. Temps right now feeling closer to -4. It is 6:11. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa.
Every year, an average of 500 children and youth are in cancer treatment at CHIO. Join CTV and Move 100 as we support oncology patients and their families at CHIO by participating in the CN Cycle for CHIO on Sunday, May 3rd. The routes start and finish at the Canadian War Museum with a 15, 35, 70K, the CN Century Ride, 2 and 5K walk. Get active with a group of friends, family, or a team of colleagues. For more information, visit cncycle.ca.
Welcome back, and here are the big stories we are following today on Your Morning Ottawa. The Ontario government is set to table its 2026 budget this afternoon. One of the policies announced is a plan to remove the HST on all new home sales for a year in Ontario, and the price of gas has increased more than 30 cents a litre since the end of February, with prices expected to rise another 5 to 7 cents a litre this morning. And now it's time to check on that forecast for you. Unfortunately, a bit of a wet and rainy start to your day this morning. We're seeing freezing rain out there this hour. We are expecting temperatures to reach a high of 6 degrees later on this afternoon. So could still see a bit of freezing rain. For the most part, it is over. The freezing rain has ended for us here in Ottawa. Temperatures hovering around -1 right now, feeling closer to -4. A cloudier day, but still a little bit of sunshine this morning into your afternoon. Then later on this afternoon, around noon hour, we are expecting rain to begin. We could see it mixed in with a little bit of snow out there later on this evening, as well as temperatures then do drop back down overnight, dropping all the way to -9. On your roads this morning, traffic has been very heavy and slow, and we have seen a couple of collisions. So this one here is the westbound lanes on the 417 at Belfast. The 2 left lanes are closed, and you can see emergency crews are on scene directing traffic. And of course, traffic completely backed up this morning. So if you're heading in from the eastbound East End this morning, be prepared for stop and go traffic. You can see at the split in through downtown, already bumper to bumper traffic this hour. So try and pack your patience and give yourself extra time on the roads this morning. Roads very slick, of course, from freezing rain we did see in the overnight. According to the federal government, Canadians spend about $9 billion a year on veterinarian services. A lot of that money is for pet medications, but new changes now allow pharmacies to fill pet prescriptions, which could save pet owners a lot of money. Here's CTV's Pat Bourne.
Deborah Smith Weber and Danny Weber have a multi-pet family, and some of their pets need medications. They used to get them through their veterinarian, but recently switched to a pharmacy that's now allowed to fill pet prescriptions.
How old are these puppies?
Molson is 3, he's a Bernedoodle, and Diesel is 9, and he's a Sheepadoodle.
They've noticed substantial savings over what they were paying before.
One of his medications was $200 for 20 days, and his other medication, which was a daily medication, was over $300 for a 2-month supply.
Adam Silvertown says medications can be ordered at his pharmacy or online through VetMeds.
This means that pet owners now have options, and that's probably what I have always wanted, which is give pet owners options to have another alternative of where to buy their medication.
Savings will vary depending on the drug, but could range from 10 to 50%. One example is an allergy medication for dogs.
I've saved $50 by getting it from the pharmacy here, paying the same price that all our other customers would pay, as opposed to getting it from a veterinarian. And that's just on one prescription, and he gets it multiple times a year.
In this day and age, price can be a factor for people, and it is a competitive market.
The Canadian Veterinary Medical Association is concerned that pharmacists have the proper training to dispense pet drugs and says owners will still need to see their vet before purchasing pet medications.
People also need to recognize that they will still need a prescription from their veterinarian.
They can charge a prescription writing fee, and there is no rules about how much that fee could be. And I've heard a range of anywhere from about $15 up to $50.
There may be some friction between veterinarians and pharmacists about these new changes, but Smith Weber hopes both sides can work together to lower prices for everyone.
We certainly have a lot of empathy and compassion for those, fellow pet owners who are struggling to take care of their animals.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is criticizing Air Canada CEO Michael Russo for his English-only message of condolences to the families of the pilots who died in a plane crash on Sunday at New York's LaGuardia Airport. Let's check in with Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush on News Talk 580 CFRA this morning. Good morning to you, Bill.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Oh, I'm hanging in there, just still recovering from that cold, but you know what? I'm fine.
You're sounding fine. Should we do this in French, just so we're not disrespectful?
S'il vous plaît.
Well, I don't think I'd be capable of having a French conversation at the level required here, as the CEO of Air Canada claims about his ability to speak French well enough to really issue condolences in the tone and manner that he wanted to. And now this country is in the middle of another language debate. The Prime Minister says it's disrespectful that he didn't do it in both official languages. It's not disrespectful to be unable to speak a language. Some people can, some people can't. Should he have made a better effort? Maybe. Should in the future the CEO of a company like Air Canada speak both official languages? There's some evidence based on what we're talking about right now that maybe that would be a good idea. But to call it disrespectful, I'll tell you what's disrespectful. What's disrespectful is the usual suspects, like the Bloc Québécois and others, spoiling for a fight over the language, like they always are, using this moment in history to start that fight. What's disrespectful is this country having a conversation now about language when we haven't even buried those poor pilots who died. We haven't. If the CEO of Air Canada has been called to Ottawa to speak to a language committee instead of coming to Ottawa to explain, is it safe for passengers to fly into the United States with all of the cutbacks they've made? Is it safe for us to do that? I'd like to hear that reassurance. That's a conversation we might have. That's a conversation that would be respectful to the memory of the two pilots who died, not about language, not now. I'm not saying it's a debate we can't have, but let's push it down the road a few weeks or a month. Do we have to do it in this moment? Of course we didn't. It's just, again, opportunism, someone wanting to have a fight, just to call out the rest of Canada and say, here we go again, Quebec, you just can't do enough for us. You just don't speak enough French. I'm sick of it, and I think a lot of Canadians are as well.
Have you asked your listeners about this topic, Bill, and what are they saying if you have?
Well, I did a commentary on this on CTV News Channel yesterday, and apparently I've heard indirectly that they took the sound from that and played it at a radio station in Montreal, English station. And the English listeners gave me quite a beating from what I hear. Well, they suffer Stockholm Syndrome. They're just so unwilling to offend anyone. They can't even stand up and say, listen, we respect the French language, but how about show respect for the memory of the people who just died? How about that? Well, listen, to me, it's like walking into a family funeral and bringing up some old battle you have with one of your aunts about something. Might even be a legitimate beef you have, but hold on to it till later. Not the time, not the place. That's common decency. There's a moment to do something. This is not it.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Bill.
All right. You have a good day.
You too. And remember, you can listen to The Morning Rush with Bill Carroll and News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 6 until 10 a.m. Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa.
I can tell you I've probably been through a few potholes with my bad car because the muffler is now loose.
Ottawa's pothole patching machines are hitting the streets. We take a look at the Python 5000 tackling tens of thousands of potholes across the city. And here's a live look at our Skycam on George Street this morning. A bit of a messy start to your day if you're heading out on the roads. Pack your patience. Lots of collisions out there, and roads are a little bit slick. Good morning, Ottawa. It is 6:22. Temperatures right now feels like -4. After a winter that saw dozens of freeze-thaw cycles, potholes are popping up by the thousands. And the city has two secret weapons slithering down streets to rapidly fill all those potholes. CTV's Tyler Fleming takes a look at the Python 5000.
Come spring, there's a pesky problem that always pops up. It's actually more of a dip in the road, potholes, and no one likes them.
Nobody.
Some are avoidable.
Just keep your eyes on the road.
Others not so much.
I've probably been through a few potholes with my bad car because the muffler is now loose.
There are some notorious bad roads.
Like parts of Bank Street. After a winter which saw dozens of freeze-thaw cycles, ice and water heaves and loosens pavement. That's how the hole is made. And this is how some are fixed. Taking a bite out of bad roads, the Python 5000 slithering down streets, hunting potholes for a seriously rapid patch.
They're typically filling hundreds of potholes in a shift.
Instead of buying, the city says it's renting 2 units, steering clear of the high maintenance cost. While dozens of crews are out continuing to fill potholes the traditional way, the self-contained Python 5000 works best at tackling busy roads.
It allows us to really focus on specific areas, really our problem spots where we want to limit our staff that are out working on the roads. With that one-person operation, they do not have to get out of the vehicle, so it's much safer working through intersections on higher speed roadways where the risk is higher for staff working on the road.
Each year, the city fills around 200,000 potholes. So far this winter, over 57,000. Residents can help the city find those potholes too by reporting them online.
Over 12 tons of asphalt's been dumped in 3 days already, so we need your help. Tell us where the potholes are. Let's get them filled up.
The Pythons and plenty of crews will be out all season picking off potholes one by one, helping to make for a smoother ride.
The city is always working hard, so I'm not one to blame. It's the situation in Ottawa, right?
Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
Today on Your Morning Ottawa, we are asking for your comments on your favorite Ottawa playoff memories. So the 67s are about to start their playoff run. So we want to know, what do you remember most about your favorite Ottawa sports team in the postseason? You can let us know your thoughts. Email us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. I had a really hard time to think about this one because there's been so many fantastic playoff memories. I was very fortunate enough to cover the Stanley Cup final. I think it was back in 2006 or 2007 that the Ottawa Senators made it all the way to the final against Anaheim Ducks. I was a brand new reporter and I got to cover the Stanley Cup final. It was an incredible moment. However, I think my all-time favorite sports memory will always be the Red Blacks winning the Grey Cup in 2016. So here's my group of girls, and some of Nigel's family members are in the crowd there as well with us. But this was me in Toronto with my friends at the 2016 Grey Cup. And of course, we all know what happened with that. We won. So here is me and my then boyfriend, now husband, Nigel Romick of the Ottawa Red Blacks, getting to have a bit of fun times with the Grey Cup. So that will forever be my favorite sports memory here in the city. It was just such a fantastic one by the Ottawa Red Blacks. They were so close the year before where they made it to the final and lost, and then to come back in 2016, only their third year as a team, and win the Grey Cup will always be a favorite memory of mine. And it was when Nigel and I first started dating, so that's the very beginnings of our relationships. And of course, I just never got to see another one from there. So very exciting, but there's always next year, right? There's always this coming year as well that they could win, but that will forever be my favorite sports memory. today. And of course, I want to hear from you as well. What is your favorite Ottawa playoff memory? It doesn't have to be the Grey Cup. It could be even your son's team or your daughter's team. If they've made it to the playoffs and you have some great memories from there, share that story with us. We would love to hear from you. Send your comments to yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. We'll be right back. Happy Thursday. Thank you so much for joining me here this morning on Your Morning Ottawa. Both Rosie and Will are away today, and I am Melissa Lamb. It is a bit of a messy start to your morning, so just keep in mind if you are heading on the roads, it is very slippery out there to start off your day. The Ontario government is set to table its 2026 budget this afternoon.
Many people, are hurting. Their costs of everything is very high, and that's why we've been very focused on affordability.
They have been wasting billions of dollars on their pet projects, and now they don't have the resources and the fiscal capacity to do the things that people need.
We need to see some strong affordability measures in that budget. We need the government to address in a real way the hallway healthcare crisis that we have in this province.
The province has already announced several new policies, but it does come with a warning that tougher times are ahead, especially during the current economic situation. The budget will be tabled in the House at 4 p.m. One of those policies is tackling housing affordability, and they've introduced a plan to remove the HST on all new home sales, a rebate that was previously only available to first-time buyers.
I think it's a great idea for people to make housing more affordable for people. Even a little bit at a time will go a long way.
With home prices being so high right now, of course I'm all for it.
This is the most significant announcement for housing affordability that any level of government could make.
The provincial and federal governments coming together to remove the 13% HST on all new home sales in Ontario up to $1 million. Premier Doug Ford says it will be in place from April 1st of this year until the end of March of next year. Federal legislation still needs to pass for the plan to become a reality. The price of gas has increased more than 30 cents a litre since the end of February, with prices expected to rise another 5 to 7 cents a litre this morning. Oil experts say the price reflects what happened in the market 2 days prior and is linked to the geopolitical tensions in the Middle East.
It's all moving on the mood swings of President Trump. The announcements he makes, whether the Iranian war there's going to be a peace situation or not. I don't know who to believe. He changes his mind every day. So the price is going up and down depending on what he pronounces on a given day.
With talks of a potential ceasefire ongoing, gas experts say it could drop by 6 to 7 cents tomorrow. A 19-year-old man has been charged in connection with a hit-and-run crash that killed an Ottawa crossing guard. The collision happened Monday morning outside of a school in Barrhaven. 55-year-old Peter Clark was taken to hospital but died from his injuries. Residents in the area say speed has been a long-time concern. Xander Wright has been charged with failure to stop after an accident causing death. Clark's death has sparked an outpouring of emotion across Ottawa, with flags now flying at half-mast.
We will do everything we can to protect crossing guards and to protect the children that are walking to and from school every day. So if the investigation into this particular incident shows that there are solutions that we can provide that will make their jobs safer and that will make children's lives safer, we'll do everything we can.
Wright will be back in court tomorrow. Police say the investigation continues. A potential watershed moment for social media after a landmark legal case found tech giants responsible for deliberately hooking a young user to their platforms and injuring her mental health.
We respectfully disagree with the verdict and will appeal.
There are so many families who've been tragically hurt through the addiction of social media.
The historic verdict against Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, and Google's YouTube awards a now 20-year-old woman $6 million in damages. The woman's mother also sued Snap and TikTok. They settled before the trial. As families of the pilots killed in the Air Canada crash grieve, Air Canada's CEO is facing mounting criticism over how he expressed his condolences. The Prime Minister says his unilingual message showed a lack of compassion and judgment.
Companies like Air Canada particularly have a responsibility to always communicate in both official languages, regardless of the situation. I'm very disappointed, as others are.
Hello, bonjour.
CEO Michael Rousseau only said 2 words in French, bonjour and merci. He will now be forced to defend that decision before the House Official Languages Committee. He has been summoned to appear by May 1st. U.S. President Donald Trump insists talks are happening with Iran. It's just that Tehran won't admit it.
They are negotiating, by the way, and they want to make a deal so badly, but they're afraid to say it because they figure they'll be killed by their own people. They're also afraid they'll be killed by us. I agree with them.
President Trump hasn't said who exactly the U.S. is talking to. High-ranking members of Iran's government say it's not them, its foreign ministers insist there have been no direct talks. But the two sides have exchanged messages through intermediaries. We do know that the U.S. gave Iran a 15-point plan through Pakistan. A sure sign of spring, the Quilon Ferry 2026 season has kicked off today. The first ferry launched at 5:30 a.m. The cable ferry runs on the Ottawa River between Quilon, Quebec and Fitzroy Harbour in Ottawa. It's the largest electric ferry on the river and has been operating for more than 100 years. And people from across the country came out to the Canadian Jigsaws Association, Alberta's regionals hoping to put together a win.
It's one that I know I can do fast, so I've practiced it quite a lot in my lunch breaks at work for the last couple of weeks. So I was very lucky when this came out of the bag.
Christy Williams finished a 500-piece puzzle in 29 minutes and 22 seconds. There were individual team and team competitions with 200 people competing. Congratulations. Looks like a great way to pass time, especially on a rainy, wet start like this morning, where we're seeing a ton of collisions out there because of the weather. So we did see some of that freezing rain overnight for us here in Ottawa. The freezing rain warning has ended, though. We did have one in place earlier this morning, but it has ended for us here in the city. It's still in place. It keeps on moving, but it's still in place for parts of eastern Quebec. You can see just past Hawkesbury and Cornwall, areas over in that direction, still under this freezing rain warning this morning, but it has ended for us here in the city. And temperatures right now, right around that freezing mark, we're sitting at -1. So freezing rain loves temperatures between -1 and +1. That's why we did see some freezing rain earlier this morning. With the wind chill this hour, it does still feel closer to -4. So warmer start than yesterday, but still a little bit below seasonal where we'd like it to be. Here's a look at that freezing rain. You can see that patch of pink. That's what we saw overnight and early this morning. For the most part, it has ended. We will see cloudy skies, a bit of a break from precipitation over the next few hours. Cloudy conditions with a little bit of sunshine, but then again into your afternoon, more rain on the way. You can see all that green on your screen. We are expecting scattered showers throughout the day ahead. We could see a change to freezing rain and snow later on this evening, especially in the overnight, as temperatures do drop back down below that freezing mark. Everything will then clear up early tomorrow morning, and we will see sunshine back in the forecast for your Friday. Temps into your afternoon today reaching a high of 6 degrees for Ottawa, double digits for Trenton, Kingston. So some milder conditions on the way, a little bit above seasonal. Average for this time of the year is around 4 degrees. 5 over in Pettawa with 6 in Gatineau, as well as in Mont-Tremblant. Over the next couple of days, it will still be cold, so we still have some colder days ahead, especially overnight tonight, dropping all the way to -9 and staying chilly for your Friday. At least it will be nice and sunny tomorrow. -4 is the daytime high, then overnight back into those minus double digits. -1 is the high for Saturday. So Friday, Saturday, a little bit cooler, but then Sunday and through next week, temperatures beautiful, a little bit above seasonal Sunday and through Monday next week.
Weather brought to you by Mādahòkì Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
So you're driving to work this morning because we did see some freezing rain. Roads are very slippery, so give yourself some extra time. On your drive-in right now, we have collisions. There are multiple collisions right now. Westbound on the 417 around the Saint Laurent area. Police are asking drivers to actually avoid that area. Cleanup efforts are underway and injuries are being assessed in that collision, so give yourself some extra time. This is a look at it here right now. So traffic is actually moving in that direction, but it still looks like the right-hand lane is blocked, so give yourself some extra time. And do pack your patience this morning. Roads are very, very slippery. We did see some snow overnight mixed in with some freezing rain, so a bit of a slick drive in on your roads this hour.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, what can Canadians expect at the pump this weekend? We'll break down the latest with CTV's Scott Hurst. Here's this live look through our sky cam this morning. Sun starting to peek through those clouds. We should see it within the next 15 minutes or so, but still a bit of a cloudy day ahead. Slick roads out there, so give yourself some extra time. Feels like -4 right now. Good morning, Ottawa. Happy Thursday. It is 6:42. Here are the big stories happening today on Your Morning Ottawa. The Ontario government is set to table its 2026 budget this afternoon. One of the policies announced is a plan to remove the HST on all new home sales for a year in Ontario. The price of gas has increased more than 30 cents a litre since the end of February, with prices expected to rise another 5 to 7 cents a litre this morning. And now it's time to take a look at your forecast. Unfortunately, the weather not so great this morning. We did see some freezing rain early in the morning hours. The freezing rain warning has ended for us here in the city. However, I could tell you it is still very slippery out there on your roads. A bit of a break from precipitation over the next few hours. A cloudier morning with some sunshine into your early afternoon. Then later on this afternoon, sometime after noon hour, we are expecting some rain. It will continue to rain throughout the evening and then changing to snow into the late evening hours overnight as temperatures do drop back down to -9. Tomorrow the sun is out. However, cold, -4 is your daytime high. Normal for this time of year is around 4 degrees, so we will be well below that as we head into your Friday forecast. Staying chilly overnight and even a little bit colder on Saturday, where we could see a few scattered flurries. On your roads this morning, very slippery driving conditions, so we do have a couple of collisions. One on the westbound 417 Belfast. It has been clear, but traffic is still slow in that area. There's also a collision westbound on the 417 at Searville Road. Police are asking drivers to avoid the area as cleanup efforts are underway and injuries are still being assessed. Road closures in effect in the area of Pleasant Park Road and Hague Drive. Police are asking drivers to also avoid that area. Eastbound on the 417, we're seeing buildup starting at the 417 split in through Maitland. So heavy traffic east to west today as we deal with slick driving conditions on your roads. Gas prices dipped significantly this week, but Canadians are preparing for another rise at the pumps. The U.S. Postal Service is even introducing an 8% fuel surcharge on packages going into effect next month. Let's bring in CTV's Scott Hurst for the latest on this. Good morning to you, Scott.
Good morning, Melissa.
Scott, as the war in Iran continues to drive fluctuations in gas and diesel prices, what has happened overnight for us?
Well, we've seen the cost of fuel continue its roller coaster ride, and that is, of course, impacting all of us as consumers. We've seen these wild swings due to the U.S. war with Iran. As you mentioned, fuel prices, the price at the pump did drop yesterday on average, but now, once again, we're expecting them to rise some 5 to 7 cents on average today as well, but potentially even drop later this week. According to CAA, prices are still up some 35 to 40 cents per liter over the past month as the cost of crude oil per barrel is up as much as 40% this year. And when oil is impacted, of course, it can put so much pressure down the line on everything that relies on it too. And that is where us as consumers will continue to feel the pinch, from gas to some grocery items, travel costs, and some consumer goods as well. And that has a federal union this week calling on the government to follow the advice of the world's energy watchdog, the International Energy Agency, putting out recommendations to reduce the impact on consumers, including working from home. And that call coming from the Canadian Association of Public Employees to allow public service to potentially work from home to help ease the strain of fluctuating gas prices, as we will continue to see, Melissa, these wild swings with so much uncertainty in the war with Iran.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about the U.S. Postal Service is saying they will implement an 8% fuel surcharge on certain deliveries. Could this happen as well with delivery companies in Canada?
Yeah, as you mentioned, it is requesting an 8% surcharge on most of its widely used shipping products. It still needs regulatory approval, but that could go in effect later in April. Now, here in Canada, fuel prices are also putting pressure on shipping costs too. According to a statement that CTV News got from FedEx, it says that it manages fluctuations in fuel prices through dynamic fuel surcharges, which is adjusted weekly in line with global fuel price movements. And also on Canada Post, its website states that it as well applies fuel surcharges on parcel services based on whether the service is domestic, USA, or international, with updates to surcharges made weekly. And so these adjustments can go up and down as fuel prices change. So as I mentioned, with so much uncertainty in the war with Iran and how soon it might be able to come to a close, and how significantly Iran has been able to impact shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, where so much oil passes through, expect to see more strain on prices as many other products that we need to buy because of so much uncertainty in the oil market. Melissa.
Thanks so much for joining us this morning, Scott.
Thank you.
Let's keep the conversation going. Of course, we are asking for your favorite Ottawa sport playoff memories. You can send your comments to us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. And of course, I shared mine. It had to be Grey Cup 2016 when the Ottawa Red Blacks did win the Grey Cup. Of course, they won against the Toronto Argonauts back in 2016. But we want to hear from you. What was your favorite Ottawa sports playoffs? And it doesn't have to be a professional sports team. You can have your son's sports team if you want to, or your daughter's sports team as well. But we just want to know, what was your favorite playoff memory? Maybe it's the 67s or the Ottawa Senators. So many great sports teams here in our city. And coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, the nominations for the Canadian Screen Awards are here. We'll tell you which movies and TV shows are leading the charge coming up. Here's a live look at our Skycam on George Street this morning. Starting to see the sun this morning. It will be a not so bad day temperature-wise, a high of 6 degrees, but scattered showers this afternoon. Good morning, Ottawa. It is 6:52. Temperatures right now feel closer to -4. And it is time now for your morning fix, and a familiar face on late night TV will help in the creative process behind the scenes with the latest Lord of the Rings movie. Peter Jackson, director of the blockbuster franchise, making the announcement on social media.
We've got a very special partner that we're working with, and you can see for yourself. Hang on. There we go. Hello.
Hi, Peter.
Hey, Stephen. Hi, how are you?
How are you doing?
Good. I like that.
The Late Show host and comedian Stephen Colbert will co-write and develop a new Lord of the Rings film. The film will be the second of the 2 new upcoming films in the fantasy series. Colbert says the next installment will be based on parts of the Tolkien's The Fellowship of the Rings book that didn't make it to the original movies. Look at that. He's going to be writing a Lord of the Rings. I didn't realize that he had so many other talents other than being a late night show host and comedian, but not surprised as well. Well, the nominees are out for this year's Canadian Screen Awards. And this is probably not a huge surprise, but heated rivalry is leading the TV categories. But one notable omission is Connor Story, who you saw there. He could not be nominated as he is not eligible, and that's because he's American. Also scoring tons of noms, the viral sensation Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. Both actors Jay McCarroll and Matt Johnson are nominated in Best Comedy Performance categories. Of course, I've seen heated rivalry, so no surprises there, but I guess I have to catch up with some other great TV shows that are out and about. And of course, we're getting our first look at the upcoming Harry Potter's reboot series.
I told you. You are a normal boy. And you're going to start acting like one.
And the new series tells the story of Harry Potter from the beginning with a brand new cast that includes newcomers as the main characters, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, as well as heavyweights like Nick Frost as Hagrid and John Lithgow as Dumbledore. The show will hit Crave in September and no doubt will be extremely popular with Harry Potter fans. And that's a look at your morning fix this morning. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam and a bit of a wet, messy start to your morning. We did see freezing rain early this morning, causing havoc on your roads. Give yourself some extra time because there is tons of collisions. There are a ton of collisions out there so far this morning. We'll be right back. It's Thursday, March 26th. The provincial government is set to table its 2026 budget at Queen's Park today. Police have laid charges in connection to the death of a crossing guard killed in a hit and run earlier this week. And the Ottawa 67s are gearing up for the playoffs. We get a preview of their postseason. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now. Good morning and happy Thursday, everyone. I am Melissa Lamb, and Rosie and Will are both away for today, so I'm here solo, but we are getting very exciting as we are previewing the Ottawa 67s as they begin their playoff adventure, so we'll get those details coming up in a few short minutes. Right now, though, to your news headlines. The Ontario government is set to table its 2026 budget this afternoon.
Many people, are hurting. Their costs of everything is very high, and that's why we've been very focused on affordability.
They have been wasting billions of dollars on their pet projects, and now they don't have the resources and the fiscal capacity to do the things that people need.
We need to see some strong affordability measures in that budget. We need the government to address in a real way the hallway healthcare crisis that we have in this province.
The province has already announced several new policies, but it does come with a warning that tougher times are ahead, especially during the current economic situation. The budget will be tabled in the House at 4 p.m. And one of those policies is tackling housing affordability, and they've introduced a plan to remove the HST on all new home sales, the rebate that was previously only available to first-time buyers.
I think it's a great idea for people to make housing more affordable for people. Even a little bit at a time will go a long way.
With home prices being so high right now, of course I'm all for it.
This is the most significant announcement for housing affordability that any level of government could make.
The provincial and federal governments coming together to remove the 13% HST on all new home sales in Ontario, up to $1 million. Premier Doug Ford says it will be in place from April 1st of this year until the end of March of next year. Federal legislation still needs to pass for the plan to become reality. The price of gas has increased more than 30 cents a liter since the end of February, with prices expected to rise another 5 to 7 cents a liter this morning. Oil experts say the price reflects what happened in the market 2 days prior and is linked to the geopolitical tensions in the Middle East.
It's all moving on the mood swings of President Trump. The announcements he makes, whether the Iranian war there's going to be a peace situation or not. I don't know who to believe. He changes his mind every day. So the price is going up and down depending on what he pronounces on a given day.
With talks of a potential ceasefire ongoing, gas experts say it could drop by 6 to 7 cents tomorrow. A 19-year-old man appeared in court Wednesday afternoon and faces charges in connection with a fatal crash that killed an Ottawa crossing guard. 55-year-old Peter Clark died after he was struck by a pickup truck Monday morning. It happened at the intersection of Cedarview Road and Kenneville Drive. Police say Xander Wright has been charged with failing to stop after a fatal accident.
We will do everything we can to protect crossing guards and to protect the children that are walking to and from school every day. So if the investigation into this particular incident shows that there are solutions that we can provide that will make their jobs safer and that will make children's lives safer, we'll do everything we can.
Wright is scheduled to appear in court again tomorrow. Police say the investigation continues. A local member of parliament says there is an overwhelming opposition among his constituents to the proposed Alto high-speed rail.
I sent a survey to everyone in my community. I've so far had 1,037 responses, with 95% of people opposing this route traveling through our community and 89% opposing this project overall.
The proposed route between Toronto and Quebec City would include a section in the Leeds and Grenville area, but MP Michael Barrett says there's been no public consultation in his community. The proposed route runs through Eastern Ontario farmland, sparking concerns from several communities about land expropriation. After a winter that saw dozens of freeze-thaw cycles, potholes are popping up by the thousands, and the city has 2 secret weapons slithering down streets to rapidly fill them.
I can tell you I've probably been through a few potholes with my bad car because the muffler is now loose.
This is the Python 5000, a pothole filling machine, which can single-handedly clean, patch, and pave a hole in under a minute. The City of Ottawa has rented 2 units for the spring season, which work nearly around the clock to fill hundreds of potholes per shift.
It allows us to really focus on specific areas, really our problem spots where we want to limit our staff that are out working on the roads.
Over 12 tons of asphalt's been dumped in 3 days already, so we need your help. Tell us where the potholes are. Let's get them filled up.
On average, the city fills around 200,000 potholes per year. Residents can report a pothole through the City of Ottawa's website. And we have a recall to tell you about this morning involving milk that may contain pieces of glass. The recall covers some milk products sold under the Farmers, Naturel, and K-Bon brands. There are 2-liter cartons on shelves across the country. The list of affected products is on the Canadian Food Inspection Agency website. The CFIA says the investigating and more products could be added to the recall. You can find more details as well on our website at ctvnewsottawa.ca. A new documentary is taking viewers behind the scenes of an iconic moment in wildlife making.
I remember the first time I met mountain gorillas. We found a group of females and juveniles in a small clearing, and to my astonishment, they allowed me to approach.
A gorilla story features Sir David Attenborough reflecting on his encounter with the young gorilla Pablo in 1976. One of his most well-known moments of any show was when Pablo cozied up with Attenborough along with his companions and tried to take off his shoes. Of course, this series will start streaming on April 17th. Absolutely fascinating, and I remember that well. We do have your weather picture for today, and so we do want to show you this beautiful picture. Absolutely stunning, and this was taken by Blake. It's of the Ottawa River on an early morning.
Weather picture brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating, just box me up.
And of course, we love seeing your weather photos, and you can be featured right here on the show. All you have to do is send them to weathershots@ctv.ca. Again, that is weathershots@ctv.ca. And for our forecast this morning, a messy start to your morning. Temps right now sitting at -3, so we have dropped a little bit. With that wind chill, feels closer to -8, so a little bit of a colder start to your morning now this hour in Ottawa. And of course, it is messy out there. We did see some freezing rain early this morning. There was a freezing rain warning in a place that has ended just before 6 o'clock this morning. Some areas, eastern Ontario, still under this freezing rain warning, as well as parts of Quebec as well. For us here in Ottawa, for the next few hours, mix of sun and clouds, so we will get a bit of a break from precipitation until about noon hour. That's when we're expecting more rain in the forecast, and it will rain kind of off and on throughout your afternoon. And then this evening, you could see that band of pink approaching us. Yes, we could see it change to freezing rain or even some snow, so we could see a mixture of rain to freezing rain to snow this evening as temperatures do drop back down below that freezing, and very cold overnight, so that's why we were expecting a bit of snow. Later on tonight, everything will clear up early tomorrow morning. 6 degrees is the high for today, mix of sun and clouds, so not a bad looking day throughout the next few hours. But then again, that rain starting around noon hour today, so it will be wet throughout the late part of your afternoon. That will continue into your day tomorrow as well. 6 degrees is the high for Ottawa, same in Bancroft, 8 for Cornwall, 9 in Brockville, double digits for Trenton, Kingston area, 5 out in the valley for today, both Pembroke and Petawawa, 6 as well over in Gatineau. So over the next couple of days, it will be quite cold, starting overnight tonight, dropping down to -9, staying cold for tomorrow, -4 is the high. Mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon, staying chilly on Saturday as well, so a couple of below seasonal days, but then above seasonal from Sunday in through Monday next week, almost climbing into the double digits on Monday.
7-day weather forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business.
Of course, traffic has been bad this morning from that freezing rain. We've had a couple of collisions, one on the westbound at 417 at Silver Road. Police are asking drivers to avoid that area as cleanup efforts are still underway. Road closures are in effect in the area of Pleasant Park Road and Hague Drive due to a collision. Police are also asking drivers to avoid that if they can. The collision eastbound on the 417 at Saint Laurent, the right-hand lane is still closed, and eastbound lanes in the 417 build up at the 417 split until Maitland. So very slow-moving traffic this hour. Lots of collisions. Give yourself some extra time. Now let's check out your TSN must-see moment.
Hey there, welcome inside the Sports Center newsroom. Lindsay Hamilton with your must-see moment from Wednesday. We are taking a trip to Indiana for this one. It's the Lakers visiting the Pacers, and in the second quarter, LeBron James takes it all by himself, and look at this, throwing it down with authority while getting fouled. James playing through the contact, delivers a monster slam, 41 years old, uses his left hand, puts the 28-year-old Jay Huff on a poster. Definitely worthy of your must-see moment. Meanwhile, today on TSN, you can see March Madness when the Sweet 16 tips off. Coverage begins 7 Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a fantastic day.
Well, last season, the Ottawa 67s missed the playoffs, but a return to form has the Barber Poles as the third seed in the Ontario's Hockey League's Eastern Conference playoffs. The team finished this year with 100 points, and they will face the Kingston Frontenacs in a best-of-7 series that starts tomorrow night in the capital. So here with a series preview, we have Kenny Walls, the Ottawa 67's play-by-play announcer with TSN 1200. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Melissa.
I almost didn't recognize you with this hairdo. Can you please tell me what is happening here?
Well, it goes back to 2001.
Okay.
It became I don't even know if it's a tradition, but that team won the OHL championship and they wore the eye paint.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be coming back this year. It's the first time that I can remember that they've done it fully as a team, and they asked me to do it. And I can't turn down the boys.
You know what's pretty hilarious is the Ottawa 67s, their locker room we get to use as family members of the Red Blacks. So I see all those photos down the hallway, and it's true. Blonde hair in all of them. Everybody does the blonde hair. So it must be a superstition at this point.
It is to a certain extent. But as I said, it hasn't been done in a little while, so they're hoping they bring back a little bit of the good luck. And
fingers crossed.
Yeah, by the time it's done and get to cut the hair, it's kind of grown out a little bit at least.
Oh, so we have some video of the players getting this done. So this was quite the adventure, it seems, for everyone.
Yeah, everybody went out to first choice. I didn't have that option, was working, but the entire team has gone blonde. And
incredible.
Some look better than others.
Okay, I bet. So it's easy to pick out which one's a 67 if you see them walking around city over the next couple days. Let's talk about the series and how the 67s will fare and match up against the Kingston Frontenacs.
Well, they're favored heading in. As you say, getting to 100 points is something special. It's only the 7th time in team history that they've been able to get there. So they are favored heading in. They won 6 out of the 8 games against Kingston. They've got some great goaltending. They had a great year. So they should be favored heading in, but it's playoffs. You never quite know what's going to happen over a best-of-7 series.
It's also junior hockey as well, right? These are young guys, so some of them may not have had a lot of experience, especially since they didn't make it to the postseason last year.
Correct.
Are there some players on the team with experience?
They did acquire some players who've gone deep into the playoffs in various leagues. Nick Sema won a Memorial Cup with Saginaw. David Bedkowski went to the OHL championship with the Oshawa Generals. You have Sam McHugh, who in his first year won an OHL championship with the Peterborough Petes. And Teddy Spitznagel won a Clark Cup in the USHL. So they do have championship pedigree on their team, all acquired, but it's still relatively inexperienced for a lot of the guys. So it's going to be their first taste of OHL playoff action. And for some guys, really their first taste of real playoffs in a long time. So it should be a lot of fun. And as you say, it's junior hockey.
Yes.
As Dave Schreiber used to say, it's predictably unpredictable.
Absolutely.
You never quite know what's going to happen.
I think that's one of the beautiful things about junior hockey, and I think I love seeing their passion because they just have so much passion at this age to play because they're not playing for the paycheck, let's put it that way, right?
Yeah,
they're playing for the love of the game.
Pure love of the game and the joy of trying to get to the next level as well. They're trying to impress scouts. If they're drafted, they're trying to get to that next level. That's why I love junior hockey so much, is that they are still kids, and sometimes it's hard to remember that there are some 16-year-olds on this team. So it's easy to get caught up in the moment thinking that they're professional hockey players because that's what we're used to watching. That's not always the case. There's a lot of kids, and they ride the emotional wave as well.
Okay, we know goaltending always huge in hockey playoffs. How do our goalies fare?
Well, one of the best in the league, and Ryder Fedorov, he won a couple of awards already. He's just 17 years old.
Wow.
But 2.07 goals against average, .923 save percentage. He, in my opinion, should win goalie of the year and has been the best goalie hands down all season long. So, and Jaden Nelson, an Ottawa kid, is the backup, likely heading into the playoffs, and he is an outstanding talent as well. They are built from the back end out. They allowed the least amount of goals this season. Over the course of the year, it should be a tightly defensive battle against Kingston, who are a disciplined team coached by former Belleville Senators coach Troy Mann. It should be a fantastic matchup, but Ottawa likely will have the edge in goal.
Okay, and how are their goal scorers?
Good. They again acquired some players at the deadline who have really helped out. They've got some really good balance in their lineup that is 4 lines deep. They've got some young talent. Thomas Vandenberg scored 25 goals this year. Their leading point producer was Cooper Foster, an overager. He's got his last kick at the can. So there's going to be some motivated players up front with 3 overagers on the forward unit. They should be able to find the back of the net, but at times they have struggled a little bit for some timely scoring, much like the Ottawa Senators, but they play a good brand of hockey that allowed them to capitalize on a lot of their opportunities.
And we know we need the building pumping, so people need to come out and support the Ottawa 67. Still tickets available for tomorrow night?
Tomorrow and Sunday.
And Sunday.
A few more tickets sold for Sunday than Friday. If you do want to come out, Ottawa67s.com is a great place to go. You can pick up tickets, and if you want to go blonde, by all means, join us. But
thankfully, I don't have to dye my hair.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll blend in.
You very much will. It should be a fantastic series, and yes, it would be great to see that building full.
So first 2 games are at home, then they go on the road, and then they come back. Is that the schedule?
Back for Game 5, yes.
Here is the full schedule. Of course, you can follow along as well online, but go 67s, go. Of course, there are still a few tickets available if you do want to go and support the Ottawa 67s in their playoff run. Thank you so much for joining us today, Kenny.
My pleasure.
Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, today's Bennett Real Estate showcasing 3 smart buying opportunities in Ottawa that can help you work toward the right home for you and your lifestyle and financial goals. Our guest is standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. And here's a live look for Centennial Glass Skycam this morning. A bit of a cloudy day ahead, but we will see some sunshine in there. Then rain later on this afternoon. Cold right now, feels closer to -8.
Your neighborhood brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
Welcome to Gingerbread Man, where it feels as you walk through the doors, magic is real in the sense of all true sense. Richard, the owner, joins us this morning. Good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning.
This is so great because your neighborhood, this segment is all about highlighting wonderful businesses in our community, and you are so local. Before we get into some emotional parts, tell me a little bit about what you do here.
We make all kinds of goodies. Most of them are made from gingerbread. My wife makes exceptional banana bread. I do the ginger loaf. Peanut brittle fudge is from friends of ours who have the What the Fudge Company. We do have some gluten-free from another customer of ours. The tarts are supposedly quite good. I'm kind of biased. I'm kind of biased because I make them. You know, we change with all of the seasons. You know, we do Easter and Mother's Day and Halloween and Valentine's Day. So we catch all the seasons, and then obviously Christmas is the big push.
Yeah, well, it feels like Christmas in a room when you walk in here. And you know, unfortunately, you had a fire years ago. Yes. But from that, you saw the community come together and support you. Can you walk me through what that was like, having not just the Manitic community, but as a whole come together during
obviously the fire was horrible, but the community rallied behind us, exceptionally humbling. They did fundraisers for us that we weren't aware of. Even the independent grocers, you know, we went over there and they had a giant display for us, and we didn't know it was there. So that was, even now, whoa, it was very emotional. They saved us, literally. They saved us. If we didn't have that support, we wouldn't have been able to we wouldn't have been able to do the reopen. So we thank them every day. You know, traditionally we give away a lot of things because what you give back comes back to you, and the community they've been exceptional.
It's a powerful story, and you talk about the people that probably enjoy these items, let alone not just anybody, but Santa had to get you for a couple of tarts too, didn't he?
Yes, yeah. On the opening day, Santa came and he made his way through the line, and then he just said, "Give me a couple butter tarts." Yeah,
rightfully so, because you make them, you know they're amazing.
Yeah, but he did go out and do the photo opportunity with everybody, and it was special because it wasn't expected. He is sort of a local guy.
Oh, so great, so powerful. But you know what? We can say all this, but we got to get to the kitchen. Okay, we are officially where the magic is being made in the kitchen. Richard, we're going to actually make some tarts this morning.
Yes, we are.
Tell me a little bit about how we go through that process.
Okay, to make the dough, those are the ingredients for the dough. Then the dough becomes this. Once it becomes that, we give it to our rolling machine, who we affectionately call Rolly. And the dough will pass through here until we get the right thickness. We cut it into that.
There we go.
Then it goes through a double molding stage through one big cup for a sort of a bigger one, and then it gets put through a small cup into the pan, which becomes this.
So depending on the size of the tart is which glass you use there.
Well, that's sort of a big mold, and then it goes down to a smaller one so you don't get wrinkles in the tart.
Oh, okay.
You know, a lot of people will just push the dough in and it gets, you know, sort of wrinkled up. We like it to sort of be.
That's why they're the best.
And we only do the outside 10 because the two in the middle never cook at the same rate as the other ones. Your muffins, your tarts, everything you do. You try and get those ones to cook, and the other ones are overcooked. So we just do 10. They all come out perfectly.
That's experience talking.
That is experience talking. Then over here we have the ingredients for the butter tarts. That becomes this.
And then that goes in the tart?
And then that.
Well, I mean, we gotta pour it.
You know, and then I made this jig so I don't get goo on the side of the pan, because then that makes dishwashing very, very difficult if it's baked on.
That is also another experience moment where you probably spent way too much time trying to clean the pan.
You know, when you've got a whole bunch of pans, that's why we hire the young kids to do it.
Oh my God. Look at that. And then those go in the oven and they pop out?
Those go into the oven, and then they pop out as this just came out of the oven. And when they come out of the oven, you've always got to move them a little bit so they don't stick, and then you know they're good to go.
Now, Richard, do you mind if I try one?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Here we go. If people are looking to maybe try this out, give them another idea of where we're at right now in the location.
We are at 1134 Ty Street in Mādahòkì. That's about 20 minutes south of the city center. That's, you know, we used to be very far south of Ottawa, but now we're sort of right in the middle of everywhere.
And let me tell you something. There's many more here for you to enjoy. Richard, thanks for having me stop by this morning.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming by.
Look at that goo. And they were so generous that they actually sent some back for our crew to also enjoy.
Oh, and they were generous enough to send us some back so I could share them with the team. Look.
Wow, wow. That's good. You don't grab that, it's too messy. That's the stuff.
Oh, I wish I had a butter tart.
And they were absolutely delicious. And of course, do you know of a great local business that we should highlight? Send us an email at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. We would love it.
Your neighborhood, brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
Good morning and Happy Thursday. I am Melissa Lamb. Thank you so much for joining me this morning on Your Morning Ottawa. Of course, Rosie and both Will are away for today. And here are our top news stories of today. Ottawa paramedics say a cyclist has been struck this morning in Alta Vista and is in critical condition. It happened at the intersection of Pleasant Park Road and Hague Drive around 6:15. First responders say a man was struck and taken to hospital with very serious injuries. Police are asking you to avoid the area. The Ontario government is set to table its 2026 budget this afternoon.
Many people, are hurting. Their costs of everything is very high, and that's why we've been very focused on affordability.
They have been wasting billions of dollars on their pet projects, and now they don't have the resources and the fiscal capacity to do the things that people need.
We need to see some strong affordability measures in that budget. We need the government to address in a real way the hallway healthcare crisis that we have in this province.
The province has already announced several new policies, but it does come with a warning that tougher times are ahead, especially during the current economic situation. The budget will be tabled in the House at 4 p.m. One of those policies is tackling housing affordability, and they've introduced a plan to remove the HST on all new home sales, a rebate that was previously only available to first-time buyers.
I think it's a great idea for people to make housing more affordable for people. Even a little bit at a time will go a long way.
With home prices being so high right now, of course I'm all for it.
This is the most significant announcement for housing affordability that any level of government could make.
The provincial and federal governments coming together to remove the 13% HST on all new home sales in Ontario, up to $1 million. Premier Doug Ford says it will be in place from April 1st of this year until the end of March of next year. Federal legislation still needs to pass for the plan to become a reality. The price of gas has increased more than 30 cents a litre since the end of February, with prices expected to rise another 5 to 7 cents a litre this morning. Oil experts say the price reflects what happened in the markets 2 days prior and is linked to the geopolitical tensions in the Middle East.
It's all moving on the mood swings of President Trump. The announcements he makes, whether the Iranian war there's going to be a peace situation or not. I don't know who to believe. He changes his mind every day. So the price is going up and down depending on what he pronounces on a given day.
With talks of a potential ceasefire ongoing, gas experts say it could drop by 6 to 7 cents tomorrow. A 19-year-old man appeared in court Wednesday afternoon to face charges in connection with a fatal crash that killed an Ottawa crossing guard. 55-year-old Peter Clark died after he was struck by a pickup truck Monday morning. It happened at the intersection of Cedarview Road and Kenneville Drive. Police say Xander Wright has been charged with failing to stop after a fatal accident.
We will do everything we can to protect crossing guards and to protect the children that are walking to and from school every day. So if the investigation into this particular incident shows that there are solutions that we can provide that will make their jobs safer and that will make children's lives safer, we'll do everything we can.
Wright is scheduled to appear in court again tomorrow. Police say the investigation continues. Arguments are expected to wrap up today at the Supreme Court's hearing of Quebec's religious symbols ban.
Et ce compromis historique-là n'a jamais été jusqu'à dire.
The notwithstanding clause came up on day 3 of hearings. Arguments centered around whether judges should have a say on whether a law violates the charter. After arguments wrap up, it's still expected to take months for the court to hand down a decision. A local member of parliament says there is overwhelming opposition among its constituents to the proposed Alto high-speed rail plan.
I sent a survey to everyone in my community. I've so far had 1,037 responses, with 95% of people opposing this route traveling through our community and 89% opposing this project overall.
The proposed route between Toronto and Quebec City would include a section in the Leeds and Grenville area, but MP Michael Barrett says there's been no public consultation in his community. The proposed route runs through Eastern Ontario farmland, sparking concerns from several communities about land expropriation. There are new details about a fire in the Byward Market earlier this week. Fire officials say the cause was an improperly discarded cigarette. This was the scene on Monday night. Fire investigators say they discovered unusual fire patterns outside a trap door and say a cigarette fell through the trap door onto combustibles in the basement, saying the blaze could have been much worse. City folk is looking for a new home.
I'm feeling like I'm 1 in a million.
The construction on the new event center at Lansdowne Park means the festival cannot be held on the Great Lawn in September. A spokesperson for Blues Fest telling CTV News Ottawa there is nothing official on a new site yet. City Folk will be held in September. An Australian dog hailed as a prolific hero and a very good boy is hanging up his collar. This is Bear. He's an 11-year-old Australian coolie, and he's been credited with saving over 100 koalas from wildfires. He's now retiring after a decade of service. He is one of the first dogs to be trained on the scent of a koala bear's fur. Bear handlers say he will retire to a life of belly rubs and, of course, playing a little bit of fetch. What a career and what a great boy. That's such a fantastic little story. Our forecast this morning, it's been a very messy start to your morning. We've seen a ton of collisions because of that freezing rain we did deal with earlier this morning. No freezing rain warning in effect for us here in Ottawa, but we did see some earlier that is causing roads to be a little bit slippery. Temps are cold this morning as well. We are sitting at -3 with that wind chill. Feels closer to -8 this hour in Ottawa. -10 is how it feels in Montreal. So a very chilly start to your morning, but mild in Kingston, 4 degrees. 7 degrees in Brockville, so depends on where you are in the city. There's a look at that band of freezing rain we did see earlier this morning that is making roads very slippery. We also saw some snow in the overnight as well, adding to all that mess outside this morning. Throughout the next few hours, we will see a mix of sun and cloud. This is by 10 a.m. this morning, and it will continue to be sunny till about noon hour. Then that's when we're expecting some rain, and it will rain throughout most of the afternoon, kind of off and on today. Then later on tonight, we could see it mixed in with some freezing rain or some snow as temperatures do drop back down and quite cold into our overnight, but then nice and clear as we head into Friday. Here's a look at your recess forecast for kids back at school. Yes, we will see a mix of sun and cloud this morning. Still a bit cloudy around noon hour, and then we are expecting that rain later on this afternoon. So it looks like sometime after noon hour, we are expecting some scattered showers here in the forecast, but mild temps on the way, a high of 6 throughout the day ahead. Regional temperatures for today similar to Ottawa, 8 degrees in Kemptville, Cornwall, 6 for Bancroft, Ottawa, 9 in Brockville, double digits for Trenton, Kingston area, 6 as well in Gatineau and over in Montreal. So we will see colder conditions overnight tonight, dropping all the way down to -9 in the overnight. So chilly conditions on the way tonight. Into your day tomorrow will stay a little bit cold as well. -4 is your daytime high as we head into Friday. So chilly but nice and sunny. Stay cold on Saturday, but then finally sunny and warmer Sunday and through Monday. We do have a collision this morning westbound on 417 at Silville Road. The right-hand lane is closed. Traffic is backed up all the way to Ramseyville Road. We also have a stalled vehicle westbound on the 417 at Nicholas. Collisions eastbound on the 417 at Saint Laurent this morning. The right-hand lane is closed. We also have road closures in effect in the area of Pleasant Park Road and Hague Drive due to a cyclist being hit. So police are asking people to avoid that area if you can. Eastbound on the 417, we're also seeing buildup starting at Moody, and this continues into Maitland. So east to west on the highways this morning, it is very slippery, lots of collisions and delays, so pack your patience, give yourself some extra time because it is a very slippery driving conditions still this hour.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers, 1-800-JUSTICE.
Discover a summer adventure rooted in nature, culture, and connection at Mādahòkì Farms Summer Camp. And here with all the details, we have founder and CEO of Mādahòkì Farms, Trina Samar. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's so great to see you.
You as well.
I know. I love when we talk summer because it means that it is getting closer, which I absolutely love.
What a winter.
Yes, what a winter. And a spring, as we're seeing.
Yes.
So give us the details on the summer camps that are happening this year.
We are so excited at Mādahòkì Farm. This is our first time we're opening up for summer camp. So we're doing 2 weeks, and you know, it's really a cultural adventure, land-based. The kids will explore and play across our 164 acres. And of course, lots of time with the Ojibwe spirit horses and all of our small animals.
And why did you decide it would be a great idea to host these summer camps?
The idea actually came to us from a longtime volunteer who's a certified teacher and has always thought it was just a great place to welcome in, you know, kids and have this summer experience. And we now have a learning loft. So we've now completed our loft. We wanted to make sure we had shelter if there was bad weather. So this is the year.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, the grounds are absolutely stunning. It looks like they'll be immersed in nature and animals as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Their day will be, you know, a bit bit of culture and learning, exploration across nature. Each group's going to be assigned their own Ojibwe spirit horse to take care of and interact with, and we'll be having, there's baby bunnies, they'll be hatching chicks and goats, and just lots of fun for them on the land.
I love that it's fun, but also so many learning opportunities as well.
Yes, we really wanted to balance that and, you know, even make the Indigenous cultural learning a lot of fun. It's interactive. They'll be baking bannock over the fire and interactive music and dance workshops, learning Inuit games, and so it'll be a lot of fun that
So a
week.
real cultural experience as well.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us about some of the workshops that will be hosted?
Yeah, so there'll be some of the cultural ones like the baking bannock, music, powwow dance performances, but they're going to do some great STEM activities, just a lot of nature-based like scavenger hunts, and one of my favorite games as a child at the outdoor places, the prey and predator games.
Okay.
And yeah, and then just time to work with the animals and the ponies. And
amazing.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, you have the indoor space now, so if the weather is not cooperating, there's lots of opportunities to do stuff indoors.
Absolutely, yes. We have a new finished loft that we're decorating to welcome in our summer campers, and we have a riding arena, and so we hope for the sunny days outdoors, but we have lots of space inside.
Amazing. And when will the summer camps be running?
They are running July 27th and August 10th for a week each.
A week each. And how can people register for these camps?
Yeah, so you can sign up and find all the information on our hosts on Mādahòkì.ca.
Mādahòkì.ca. And are there still spots available as well?
There are. Both weeks have some spots available, yes.
And for ages as well. Tell us the ages of the summer camps.
Yeah, so we're looking for 4 to 12 years old, and they will be grouped by age, so their experiences will all be age appropriate, and they'll be with peers of similar ages as well.
Wonderful. So people can head online to register, and I'm sure spots will fill up quickly, right?
Yes,
yeah, limited amount of spots available.
There's been a lot of interest,
I
so
bet.
we're really excited.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us
you.
today. You're welcome.
Miigwech.
And of course, coming up next is the Bennett Real Estate Rundown. We will be getting a preview of what's on the market right now. We'll have more on that coming up just after the break. Here's a live look for a Centennial Glass sky cam this morning. A mix of sun and cloud out there right now, but cold. Feels closer to -8, and we did see freezing rain this morning, which is making roads very slippery this hour. Today's Bennett Real Estate Rundown, we are showing you 3 smart buying opportunities in the capital, because in this market, it's not just about buying a home, it's about buying the right home for you and, of course, your goals. And Brett Liscombe is joining us this morning from the Bennett Property Shop. Good morning to you.
How are you doing, Melissa?
I am so good today. Of course, I love figuring out what's on the market right now, and you always bring us some great properties. And these are smart opportunities, as you mentioned.
That's it, exactly. There's a lot of opportunities around the city, and I think a lot of people now, when they look at a home purchase or where they're going to live, they take a lot of things into consideration, whether it be the monthly budget or whether it be the location, proximity to schools. So some of these options today here are going to give you a little bit of an idea of what's out there in the market.
Okay, I love it. What's the first property we're looking at today?
So the first property we're seeing here is 137 Dufour. So this is an infill semi-detached home. This is located between Manor Park and New Edinburgh. Great for ambassadors, a lot of diplomats in the area. And this property is priced just under $1.1 million. So this property is only about a year old. So you have a 4-bedroom, roughly 1,900 square feet home above. And you'll see here, everything is brand new for the materials, high-end materials throughout. But the part I love about this is the downstairs actually has a separate legal 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom unit. So for context, that unit in itself can drop your mortgage by the equivalent of $400,000 when you consider the rent that you'd be bringing in from it. So when we talk about smart buying options, this is an opportunity to get into a higher price point home and maybe a little bit more of a desirable neighborhood, but for something that offers a little bit more affordability.
That's incredible, and such a great neighborhood, as you mentioned. Walkability, there's so many things around and about in the neighborhood, and you're so central.
Well, that's it. Proximity to great jobs and, of course, parks, biking paths, things like that. So a real lifestyle property.
Okay, I love that one. Okay, up next, what do you have for us?
So up next, we're going to 1450 South Russell Road. So this is just on, as it says, this is just south of the village of Russell. So this sits on about 1 acre of land. And you can see it's a bungalow that has about 1,400 square feet, above grade. It's been recently updated, new quartz countertops, new appliances, new backsplash, fresh paint, new lighting. Like the list goes on and on here. But the part that I love the most is they've spent money in the areas that people typically associate with additional costs. The bathroom has been brand new, right back to the studs. So we're talking new floors, we're talking new tub, new shower, new faucets, everything that comes along with it. And this is where these rural properties start to stand out. Look at the size of this double car garage, the acreage, the privacy that you get. And you can have all of this for under $650,000.
It's absolutely incredible. So you're just moving a little bit out of the city. You know, you're in Russell, not too far away, and really a growing neighborhood, I would say.
Well, that's it. There's a ton of amenities there. You're only 25 minutes from downtown. So, I mean, when you look at the commute most people have on a day-to-day basis, this fits right in there with everything else.
Absolutely, and so much space, which is nice. That backyard, you could do so many things with.
I know. All the gardens, all the activities.
Love it. Pool, hot tub, sauna. That's where I go, and that's where I'm dreaming of. Okay, last but not least, our last property this morning.
We are heading to Bridalwood. We are at 53 Filial Crescent. This single-family home here, you'll see, has been updated throughout. Some really definitive styling choices through here. I love the color pattern that they've had. With the lighting, you can see that they've updated. The dark really pops. And you can see here with the vaulted ceiling that you have in the living room offers a tremendous space, and it feels nice and airy throughout. The hardwood floors, the addition to the fans in the upstairs bedroom, and I love that bay window. I think that would be a perfect spot to have a chair, look out in the backyard, enjoy the sunset. And you can see that clawfoot tub in there as well, which are hard to find. And the bit, I was actually talking to Marnie right before we got on camera here this morning. This property actually sold last night, nearly $40,000 over asking with multiple offers firm. So that's something that we're seeing in the marketplace right now. We're seeing the competitive juices starting to fly, and it's all about that trigger point pricing. So whenever you're pricing your home, you want to make sure you're in the marketplace where people are going to find the property.
So we're still seeing people go over asking because there's been so many offers.
Absolutely. It's about the strategy that you use. I mean, people are at the point now where once they take a look at a property, if the pricing doesn't line up with where they see the value, it's not something they're actually going to go take a look at. So if you want more information, give us a call.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Brett, for joining us today.
Thank you.
And don't forget, you can listen to the Bennett Real Estate and Wealth Show with Marnie Bennett Saturdays at 1 p.m. on 580 CFRA. Are your milestone celebrations for Thursday, March 26th, and we're going to start off with a happy 5th birthday. This is going out to Scarlett. Too big, too fast. Hope you have a great day. Love, Mommy, Daddy, Pa, May, your little sister Sadie, and Chief. We have another 5th birthday. This is going out to my favorite boy, Evan. I love you as big as the universe. Enjoy your special day. And we also have a happy 12th birthday. This is to our firstborn grandson, Isaac. This is with love from Grandma and Papa. And of course, if you have a milestone celebrating with us, celebrate your birthday announcements for kids turning 13 years old and younger, and for those turning 100 years or more. Wedding anniversaries as well for those celebrating 50 years or more. All you have to do, send us an email, ottawa.milestones@ctv.ca, and we'll be sure to get your announcement on the air. And get ready, Ottawa Rochef Chocolatier has your chance to win the ultimate chocolate haul. Rochef chocolates are locally made and are known for their delicious, rich flavors and Easter creations, including their 2-foot bunny. You can check them out in Gatineau at their boutique. They're just a 5-minute drive from downtown Ottawa. Make this Easter the most memorable one yet. One lucky viewer will win a gift basket valued at over $500, including Rochef handcrafted chocolates and a $200 gift card. Enter now for your chance to win this ultimate chocolate indulgence. Head to our contest page at ctvottawa.ca and good luck. Here's a live look through our Skycam this morning. A bit of sunshine to kick off your day, but it is a cold start to your morning. Feels closer to -8 this hour. Good morning, Ottawa. It is 7:56.
Side pass, and it's an early shot. He scores!
Tamarack Ottawa Race Weekend returns May 23rd and 24th, and it's never too early to join Canada's biggest running celebration. From the full and the half marathons to the 10K, the 5K, and the 2K, there's a distance for everyone. Register early to save on fees, jumpstart your training, and get ahead on fundraising in the Desjardins Charity Challenge. Join thousands at the start line and be a part of something amazing. Visit runottawa.ca for more information.
It's Thursday, March 26th. The provincial government is set to table its 2026 budget at Queen's Park today. Police have laid charges in connection to the death of a crossing guard killed in a hit and run earlier this week. And the Ottawa 67s are gearing up for the playoffs. We get a preview of their postseason. Your Morning Ottawa starts right now. Good morning, happy Thursday, and thank you so much for joining me here this morning on Your Morning Ottawa. I am Melissa Lamb, and of course, Rosie and Will are both away for today. In our news headlines this morning, an Ottawa paramedic say a cyclist has been struck this morning in Alta Vista and is in critical condition. It happened at the intersection of Pleasant Park Road and Hague Drive around 6:15. First responders say a man was struck and taken to hospital with very serious injuries. Police are asking you to avoid the area. The Ontario government is set to table its 2026 budget this afternoon.
Many people, are hurting. Their costs of everything is very high, and that's why we've been very focused on affordability.
They have been wasting billions of dollars on their pet projects, and now they don't have the resources and the fiscal capacity to do the things that people need.
We need to see some strong affordability measures in that budget. We need the government to address in a real way the hallway healthcare crisis that we have in this province.
The province has already announced several new policies, but it does come with a warning that tougher times are ahead, especially during the current economic situation. The budget will be tabled in the House at 4 p.m. And one of those policies is tackling housing affordability, and they've introduced a plan to remove the HST on all new home sales, a rebate that was previously only available to first-time buyers.
I think it's a great idea for people to make housing more affordable for people. Even a little bit at a time will go a long way.
With home prices being so high right now, of course I'm all for it.
This is the most significant announcement for housing affordability that any level of government could make.
The provincial and federal governments coming together to remove the 13% HST on all new home sales in Ontario, up to $1 million. Premier Doug Ford says it will be in place from April 1st of this year until the end of March of next year. Federal legislation still needs to pass for the plan to become a reality. The price of gas has increased more than 30 cents a litre since the end of February, with prices expected to rise another 5 to 7 cents a litre this morning. Oil experts say the price reflects what happened in the markets 2 days prior and is linked to the geopolitical tensions in the Middle East.
It's all moving on the mood swings of President Trump. The announcements he makes, whether the Iranian war there's going to be a peace situation or not. I don't know who to believe. He changes his mind every day. So the price is going up and down depending on what he pronounces on a given day.
With talks of a potential ceasefire ongoing, gas experts say it could drop by 6 to 7 cents tomorrow. A 19-year-old man appeared in court Wednesday afternoon to face charges in connection with a fatal crash that killed an Ottawa crossing guard. 55-year-old Peter Clark died after he was struck by a pickup truck Monday morning. It happened at the intersection of Cedarview Road and Kenneville Drive. Police say Xander Wright has been charged with failing to stop after a fatal accident.
We will do everything we can to protect crossing guards and to protect the children that are walking to and from school every day. So if the investigation into this particular incident shows that there are solutions that we can provide that will make their jobs safer and that will make children's lives safer, we'll do everything we can.
Wright is scheduled to appear again in court tomorrow. Police say the investigation continues. A local member of parliament says there is an overwhelming opposition among his constituents to the proposed Alto high-speed rail plan.
I sent a survey to everyone in my community. I've so far had 1,037 responses, with 95% of people opposing this route traveling through our community and 89% opposing this project overall.
The proposed route between Toronto and Quebec City would include a section in the Leeds and Grenville area, but MP Michael Barrett says there's been no public consultation in his community. The proposed route runs through Eastern Ontario farmland, sparking concerns from several communities about land expropriation. We do have a recall to tell you about involving milk that may contain pieces of glass. The recall covers some milk products sold under the Farmers, Natrel, and K-Bone brands. There are 2-liter cartons on shelves across the country. The list of affected products is on the Canadian Food Inspection Agency website. The CFA says it's investigating and more products could be added to the recall. You can find more details on our website at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Ottawa Blues Fest has confirmed the full lineup for its Ottawa 200 celebrations, and they've added a new daytime programming. No sugar tonight, no coffee, no sugar tonight, my tea, no sugar to stand beside me, no sugar to run with me. The Guess Who and the Sheepdogs are the main musical acts, and the festival has added new family-friendly daytime programming, including museum fun, circus demonstrations, and that will be free from 12 until 4 p.m. on July 19th. Sounds like a great time for all. And of course, your forecast for today, a bit of a messy start to your morning. We did see that freezing rain earlier this morning, which has caused a messy situation on our drive-in. Currently sitting at -3 here in the city. So these are our current temperatures we're seeing out there right now. -4 in Montreal, much warmer in Kingston and Brockville area, sitting at 4 and 7 degrees. With our wind chill this morning in Ottawa, still one out there. Feels like -8, feels closer to -3 out in the valley. So we did see a band of freezing rain. There's that pink on your screen. It started overnight and early this morning, and it will continue. It has stopped, but it did continue creating havoc on our roads this morning. A break from precipitation until afternoon hour today. That's when we're expecting more rain in the forecast. So scattered showers kind of off and on into the afternoon, and then we could see some more freezing rain or snow into our overnight as temperatures do drop back down, but everything will clear up before tomorrow morning. So your drive-in tomorrow will be nice and clear. We just have to deal with messier road conditions this afternoon and in through your evening hours. Daytime highs today 6 degrees, so it will be quite warm into your afternoon. 5 in Pembroke, out in the valley, 6 as well in Bancroft, double digits for Trenton, Kingston area. 5 degrees out in the valley today, 6 over in Montreal, Tremblant, and Gatineau. So over the next couple of days, a little mixture of everything in the All right, we just have a fire alarm right now, so unfortunately we are going to have to evacuate the building. We'll be back right after this.
Every year, an average of 500 children and youth are in cancer treatment at CHIO. Join CTV and Move 100 as we support oncology patients and their families at CHIO by participating in the CN Cycle for CHIO on Sunday, May 3rd. The routes start and finish at the Canadian War Museum with a 15, 35, 70K, CN Century Ride, 2 and 5K walk. Get active with a group of friends, family, or a team of colleagues. For more information, visit cncycle.ca.
Far side pass, and it's an early shot. He scores!
Today's snow report brought to you by Mont Cascade, only 20 minutes from Ottawa.
And here's a look at your snow report for today. Mont Cascade has 2 lifts open and 9 of their 21 runs. Elsewhere on the hills today, Calabogie Peaks has all of their lifts open. Forlage is closed for today. You can find 15 runs at Camp Fortune, and Edelweiss also has 21 of their 22 runs.
Your best runs begin at Mont Cascade. Large learning area, varied terrain. We've got everything you need to improve your skills. High quality rentals, great instructors, and fun times. Come join us at Mont Cascade.
Well, the Ottawa 67s are playoff bound, and of course the puck drops on round 1 tomorrow night. And joining me now to tee up the postseason is Adrian Sequeira. He is the president of the 67s. Good morning to you.
Thanks for having me.
Some exciting times here on the show. We had a fire alarm, had to break. We're back. There's no fire. Don't worry.
That's a
We're
first
all
for me,
safe.
maybe not you, but yeah.
It's happened several times for us. Exciting times for 67s as well. Back in the playoffs this year after missing out last year. What's the vibe been like down at TD Place?
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been a fun year, and it's always tough coming off a year. Was the first year in 11 we didn't make the playoffs last year. nobody picked us to be as strong as we were. But early in the year, we saw, we had something special, special group of players and coaches, and they've come together, and it's been a really, really exciting season.
And they're getting ready. Puck drops tomorrow night on round 1, first game at home, which is always exciting when you have that home ice advantage.
Yeah, it helps for so many reasons. Obviously, you get games 1 and 2 at home. You have a little bit extra time to kind of go on sale and build up that crowd. And playing on a Friday night at 7 o'clock is just perfect. It's perfect for 67s, having Kingston in town. It's going to be a great night at the rink.
A nice, good series. Let's talk a little bit about goaltending. We know always huge going into a playoff series.
Yeah, we're real fortunate. We've got 2 outstanding goalies. Ryder Fedorov, rookie, came in this year. Free agent signing and has had an unbelievable record-breaking season. And Jaden Nelson, a veteran who's been with us, gives us, has also had an outstanding season. So they won the lowest goals against average for the regular season. And to have a 1-2 like that is a real advantage.
Talk about playoff hockey for the 67s down at TD Place, because it is so exciting. The atmosphere is electric, and there's something about junior hockey that the fans are passionate, the players are passionate. It's just such an experience.
Yeah, I think junior hockey it's just tremendously exciting all the time. But when you get to playoffs, the energy is definitely ratcheted up on the ice and in the stands. So it just takes everything to another level. And this is what the players work so hard. They play 68 games to get to here. And now to be able to drop the puck on round 1 is it's going to be high intensity.
And how important is it for the crowd to be rocking at TD Place for these guys to feel the energy of everybody around them?
Yeah, I think, young players and they feed off it for sure, right? And we've got a big building that when you get a lot of people in there and a lot of noise and a lot of energy, it really is that extra push that the players can use.
And we know that a lot of them have dyed their hair, but Adrian, I'm not seeing any blonde coloring over here. What's happening? You decided not to join out?
I didn't get invited that night. I've got no good excuse. We'll see how it goes through the playoffs. But I know the players, I kind of say whatever it works for them to make them feel like they're ready to go, then go for it.
Well, it's easy to pinpoint who they are in this city with these blonde locks, these long, luscious blonde hockey locks. But you better be careful, because you never know. They might make a bet with you at some point in this series.
I've been getting some calls already, so we'll see how it goes.
I think you would look good with blonde, no?
Never done that.
Never done. There's always a first for everything.
Yes.
Still tickets left for tomorrow night and the next game on Sunday?
Yeah, so tomorrow night, tickets available through our website, ottawa67s.com. Sunday, game 2 at 3 p.m. And then we'll go off to Kingston for a couple games, and if there's a game 5, next Saturday night back at TD Place.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And if they make it to round 2, I want to see that blonde hair, Adrian. I'm going to make you bet with me.
All right, we'll talk about it.
That's good. And coming up, Uganda is quickly becoming one of the most talked about destinations in Africa. Travel expert Lorraine Simpsons will tell us about its wildlife-rich culture, conservation efforts, and so much more. Here's a live look at our Skycam this morning on George Street. And yes, starting to see that sunshine through those clouds, but still cold. Feels closer to -8.
Therapy Thursday is brought to you in part by Focus Forward Health, Ottawa's premier mental health boutique.
Tia's 42-year-old husband started taking testosterone to, quote, get his energy back, even though his doctor told him it wasn't necessary. Tia says she's worried about potential side effects and wants to know about how to bring this up to him without seeming like a nag. So she turned to Sophie and Jeff from Move 100 for help on this week's edition of Therapy Thursday.
First of all, you're never a nag if you're coming from a good place and you're worried about your person's health. There's absolutely nothing naggy about it. If you weren't concerned, that would be weird.
Glenn agrees, saying this is the time to be a nag, if you want to call it that, and supporting your husband is not always agreeing with him. Messing with your hormones is dangerous, he says. Jesse's saying if he got so quickly into tea, I don't think this is his first time on it. Ask what his game plan is. If it's just to get some energy back, maybe focus on him having an end date, not to quit it now, but but sometime in the near future, once he feels back up to speed. I don't know how it works. Does your energy disappear if you go off it? I don't know.
So I like what Sharon's saying on Facebook. She says you should tell him you're happy for him, that he's feeling great, but maybe, suggest a blood test just to be sure that he's taking the correct dosage and that everything is going okay. This way you come across as encouraging and being on the safe side.
Well, the underlying theme here is that women take care of men. Typically, like we think we're Superman. We don't need to go to the doctor. We don't need to know anything. And you're literally our lifeline. We see studies all the time that say men live longer because if they're married or with someone in long term.
Well, we don't like to brag, but
it's all because you force us to take care of ourselves. Bev's saying gather up facts about what he's doing and then talk to him and work together on how he should proceed with caution and knowledge.
Yes, and if he's not into going to the doctor, says Vanessa, because the doctor, sort of said he didn't need to do this, then try maybe a naturopath for some follow-ups. They also do blood work.
Okay.
So you've got some options there. All right. What do you think? This is an interesting one today. Testosterone therapy. What would you do?
Well, it is time to hit the spring refresh button, and today we are talking elevating small spaces. Rebecca Esser joins us this morning to show us how we can make your space look bigger and more luxurious. I love this idea, especially since I lived in a small space for many, many years. I know how it can get cluttered and overwhelmed, but we're going to make it nice and clean and fresh and luxe, which I love.
Absolutely.
Okay, first of all, we're going to start with mirrors. Tell us about how mirrors can help.
Absolutely. So the first thing, when it comes with working with small spaces, you want elements that make it feel big, make it feel luxurious. And the best way to do so is with mirrors, right? So mirrors have the ability to bring in light, right? And so I would say to start from the ceiling to floor mirror, go big or go home, right? I have something here, very small, just for display purposes. Yeah. But at home, try to go for something big, right?
Large.
It's exactly large. Bring in the light, maybe hanging it by a window, right? For more light. As you can see with the photos there. And an entryway. If you have a more narrow space, I would say, again, go for something from big to small, because that does allow the space to look a bit bigger and wider. So it allows you to, it almost renovates the space without you really doing much to it.
Oh, those are some great examples of different styles of mirror too. You had an arch around a rectangle. Different styles that you can really elevate that space.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about scent and how that can help as well.
Yes. So with scent, do you ever go to a hotel, 5-star hotel, or a spa, and immediately you walk there, you feel like
it's the aroma, the scent all together.
Yes. So for a small space, you want to create that environment in your home, right? You want to feel like home. Obviously, all scents are different. Really go with what you like. What I have here is a vanilla espresso.
Beautiful.
Right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
It smells like
quite
coffee.
strong.
I love it.
So it's strong. It gives you that idea, again, of a luxury feel, luxury home. It really doesn't take much, especially if you're working with a small budget. This is from Winners. You can pick up something, and that just elevates your home immediately.
Okay, tell us more a little bit about artwork.
Absolutely. So for art, I think art is one of the easiest ways for you to elevate a space. So when you're working with a tight space, I would say go with a bigger art. Just that way it removes your eyes from the ground, right? You're working with perspective. And so you want, when people walk into your home, to be able to look at the art and to make sure that, wow, this is the styling piece. It's taking all the attention away from the clutter that's around.
Looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm just dealing with a bit of a cough.
I hope you're okay there.
I'm fine, but tell us about these photos that we're seeing as well.
Yes, so like I mentioned, art is the best way to bring in luxury into your home. So we have some different styling pieces there. Again, style in art is subjective. So if you're more of an abstract person, go for abstract. You want to go with something that's a little bit more elevated, colors that feel welcoming, that feel relaxing. So in the photos, you see some light mirrors. You see also some light art. You want texture, depending on your style, right? Texture with will also add in
Elevate.
elevate that space.
Let's talk about multifunctional pieces as well, like this over here.
Exactly. So as we see here, the multifunctional piece, why that works in bringing in that luxury space into a tight space. This is almost like it could be a coffee table, right? You can use it for multiple purposes. Again, you're working with a tight space, and so you want to be intentional about the things that you bring into your home. And so we're thinking storage, right? As I said, this can work as a coffee table, but also storage spacing.
So much
you
stuff
have
inside.
blankets, you have pillows, throw that in there, making sure that, you know, you can use this for the proper item. If you have friends over, pull this out. They can put their coffee on the table. Once they're gone, throw in the blankets in there, making sure that the space feels elevated, making sure that every piece that you have is intentional.
And other options as well.
Yes, exactly. So we have a coffee table that can work, again, as a work station, right? And so
Like
there's
a
just
desk almost,
exactly. So multiple ways in which you can use the space and the furniture that you have for your home.
Perfect. Absolutely amazing. And how can people find more information? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
On Instagram at Rebecca Esther.
Thank you, Rebecca, for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank
Of
you
course,
for
making your
having me.
small spaces look more luxe. You're so welcome. And coming up, 24 Ottawa area chefs will be participating in something called the Grand Chef Relay. Two of the competitors will be joining us to share all the details coming up. They are standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa kitchen this hour. And happy Thursday. It is 8:29. Thank you so much for joining me here this morning on Your Morning Ottawa. Of course, Rosie and Will are both away for today, so I am here solo, and it's been a very adventurous Thursday morning for you. Now to our news headlines this morning. Ottawa paramedics say a cyclist has been struck this morning in Alta Vista and is still in critical condition. It happened at the intersection of Pleasant Park Road and Hague Drive around 6:15. First responders say a man was struck and taken to hospital with very serious injuries. Police are asking you to avoid the area. The Ontario government is set to table its 2026 budget this afternoon.
Many people, you know, are hurting. Their costs of everything is very high, and that's why we've been very focused on affordability.
They have been wasting billions of dollars on their pet projects, and now they don't have the resources and the fiscal capacity to do the things that people need.
We need to see some strong affordability measures in that budget. We need the government to address in a real way the hallway healthcare crisis that we have in this province.
The province already has announced several new policies, but it does come with a warning that tougher times are ahead, especially during the current economic situation. The budget will be tabled in the House at 4 p.m. One of those policies is tackling housing affordability, and they've introduced a new plan to remove the HST on all new home sales, a rebate that was previously only available to first-time buyers.
I think it's a great idea for people to make housing more affordable for people. Even a little bit at a time will go a long way.
With home prices being so high right now, of course I'm all for it.
This is the most significant announcement for housing affordability that any level of government could make.
The provincial and federal governments coming together to remove the 13% HST on all new home sales in Ontario, up to $1 million. Premier Doug Ford says it will be in place from April 1st of this year until the end of March next year. Federal legislation still needs to pass for the plan to become a reality. The price of gas has increased more than 30 cents a liter since the end of February, with prices expected to rise another 5 to 7 cents a liter this morning. Oil experts say the price reflects what happened in the market 2 days prior and is linked to the geopolitical tensions in the Middle East.
It's all moving on the mood swings of President Trump. The announcements he makes, whether the Iranian war there's going to be a peace situation or not. I don't know who to believe. He changes his mind every day. So the price is going up and down depending on what he pronounces on a given day.
With talks of a potential ceasefire ongoing, gas experts say it could drop by 6 to 7 cents tomorrow. A 19-year-old man appeared in court Wednesday afternoon to face charges in connection with a fatal crash that killed an Ottawa crossing guard. 55-year-old Peter Clark died after he was struck by a pickup truck Monday morning. It happened at the intersection of Cedarview Road and Kenneville Drive. Police said Xander Wright has been charged with failing to stop after a fatal accident.
We will do everything we can to protect crossing guards and to protect the children that are walking to and from school every day. So if the investigation into this particular incident shows that there are solutions that we can provide that will make their jobs safer and that will make children's lives safer, we'll do everything we can.
Wright is scheduled to appear in court again tomorrow. Police say the investigation continues. Arguments are expected to wrap up today at the Supreme Court's hearing of Quebec's religious symbols ban.
Ce compromis historique-là.
The notwithstanding clause came up on day 3 of the hearings. Arguments centered around whether judges should have a say on whether a law violates the charter. After arguments wrap up, it's still expected to take months for a court to hand down a decision. A local member of parliament says there is overwhelming opposition among his constituents to the proposed Alto high-speed rail plan.
I sent a survey to everyone in my community. I've so far had 1,037 responses, with 95% of people opposing this route traveling through our community and 89% opposing this project overall.
The proposed route between Toronto and Quebec City would include a section in the Leeds and Grenville area, but MP Michael Barrett says there's been no public consultation in his community. The proposed route runs through eastern Ontario farmland, sparking concerns from several communities about land expropriation. There are new details about a fire in the Byward Market earlier this week. Fire officials say the cause was an improperly discarded cigarette. This was the scene on Monday night. Fire investigators say they discovered unusual fire patterns outside a trap door and say a cigarette fell through the trap door onto combustibles in the basement, saying the blaze could have been much worse. City folk is looking for a new home. I'm feeling like I'm one in a million. The construction on the new event center at Lansdowne Park means the festival cannot be held on the Great Lawn in September. A spokesperson for Blues Fest telling CTV News Ottawa there is nothing official on a new site yet. City folk will be held in September. A familiar face on late night TV will help the creative process behind the scenes with the latest Lord of the Rings movie. Peter Jackson, director of the blockbuster franchise, making the announcement on social media.
We've got a very special partner that we're working with, and you can see for yourself. Hang on. There we go. Hello.
Hi, Peter.
Hey, Stephen. Hi, how are you?
How are you doing?
Good, good.
The Late Show host and comedian Stephen Colbert will co-write and develop a new Lord of the Rings film. The film will be the second of 2 new upcoming films in the fantasy series. Colbert says the next installment will be based on parts of the Tolkien's The Fellowship of the Rings book that didn't make it to the original movies. I'm sure fans will be excited for that. In your forecast for today, we did see some messy weather earlier this morning that did create a bit of a mess out there on your roadways. And it is still a little chilly out there, -3 right now here in Ottawa. With that wind chill, feels closer to -5. So we have warmed up a little bit here this hour. It's 0 in Cornwall, feels like -10 out in Montreal. Earlier this morning, we did see some freezing rain. For the most part, that has ended. We will see scattered showers later on this afternoon, but a bit of a break until then. We will see mixed sun and cloud right now, right through until just after noon hour today. That's when we could start to see a few scattered showers. We could see the system then change back to freezing rain mixed in with some snow overnight as temperatures do drop down quite a bit, but then everything will clear up before tomorrow morning, so you don't have to worry about messy road conditions as you head off to work Friday. Just colder temperatures as we head towards the end of the work week. Right now, though, not so bad. We will reach a daytime high of 6 degrees this afternoon, so very mild for your Thursday. 5 in the Valley, 6 in Bancroft, as well as 8 in Kemptville, as well as over in Cornwall. 5 for the Valley today, 6 in Gatineau, as well as in Mont-Tremblant. So over the next couple of days, temperatures will be cold, overnight dropping to -9. -4 is your daytime high as we head into tomorrow, so staying chilly, but at least nice and sunny. A little bit cold on Saturday as well. -1 is the daytime high, then finally above seasonal Sunday in through Monday next week with lots of sun.
Weather brought to you by Yeckendorf Rashid. Experience, knowledge, and a commitment to excellence.
Westbound on the 417 at Silverville, it has been cleared right now, but still road closures in effect in the area of Pleasant Park Road and Hague Drive due to a cyclist being hit. Police are asking people to still avoid the area. Eastbound on the 417 build-up starting at Moody and through Bronson. Westbound on the 174 heavy from 10th line to the 417. McDonald, Cartier, and Champlain bridges all moving slowly this morning. Other bridges are moving well. Now let's check out your TSN must-see moment.
Hey there, welcome inside the Sports Center newsroom. Lindsay Hamilton with your must-see moment from Wednesday. We are taking a trip to Indiana for this one. It's the Lakers visiting the Pacers, and in the second quarter, LeBron James takes it all by himself, and look at this, throwing it down with authority while getting fouled. James playing through the contact, delivers a monster slam, 41 years old, uses his left hand, puts the 28-year-old Jay Huff on a poster. Definitely worthy of your must-see moment. Meanwhile, today on TSN, you can see March Madness when the Sweet 16 tips off. Coverage begins 7 Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a fantastic day.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Starting off with your Ottawa Black Bears and their Marvel Superhero Night. They face off against the Georgia Swarm on Saturday in a night where heroes rise and rivalries sting. From bear strength plays to buzzworthy moments, this theme night brings comic-style entertainment and high-flying lacrosse action. Capes are optional. Energy is definitely guaranteed. Next up, also on Saturday, head to the Ottawa Family Cinema to check out Goat, the movie in 3D. A small goat with big dreams gets a once-in-a-lifetime shot to join the pros and play Roarball. Great for the whole family. And all proceeds are donated back to the community through the Family Movie Trust Fund. Plus, there's free parking. Last on the list today is the Vanier Sugar Festival, which is back this weekend for its 41st year. It's a fully free event and a great way to get your maple fix this spring. In Vanier, it features music, live performances by local artists, games and activities for both kids and adults, lumberjack competitions, axe throwing, and so much more. Sounds like a lot of fun. Lots more happening around the capital this weekend. The full list and all the details at ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, I'm Shania Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Well, coming up on March 29th, there's 24 Ottawa chefs will be participating in the Grand Chef Relay. Here to tell us more about it, we have Matthew and Terry joining us this morning. Great to see you both. Thank you so much for being here. It's been an eventful morning for us, right? Tell us about the Grand Chef Relay happening on the 29th.
Yeah, so it's a 24 chef relay. It goes chef to chef to chef, 30 minutes apiece. In that time, some of us have between 15 to 30 guests.
Wow.
And we have to put out 2 dishes in that time.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a quick thing, and it's to raise money for the Food Bank of Ottawa.
Such a great cause that you're raising money for. So is this one of the dishes that you'll be creating?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us
so
about
this is one of our dishes. This is called Gugliones.
Gugliones.
Yeah, so it's a Sardinian classic.
Okay.
And essentially it's a pasta that's been stuffed with potato. Okay. Our take on it is a really red wine heavy tomato sauce, and the potato stuffed inside is mixed with chives and house-made creme fraiche.
Beautiful. All right, are you going to serve it up for us here this morning?
Absolutely.
How would you plate this?
So in this case, doing 4 of the dumplings.
And tell us about the restaurant you work at.
Yeah, so the restaurant I work at is called Tradici. It's a little Italian speakeasy style restaurant.
Cute.
With a gothic flair.
Oh,
so
fun.
Everything we do is made in-house. It's from as much scratch as possible.
Okay, what is this drizzle you're adding?
So this is a little house-made fennel chili oil.
Ooh.
Add a little spice, add a little depth and anise flavor.
Beautiful.
And these are some of our house-grown baby parsley.
Little microgreens. So
Yeah.
beautiful. Amazing. Okay, Terry, you are from the barbecue joint.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about your restaurant.
The barbecue joint, it's pretty much it's a catering company. So we do catering, we do pop-ups, we do private chef experience as well.
Okay.
Like yeah.
This looks phenomenal, and they both smell so delicious as well. Can you tell us what you're creating for us today?
Yeah, so for you guys today, this dish is also gonna be one of the dishes at Chef Relay.
Okay.
So this is our take on barbecue chicken salad.
Ooh,
yeah.
delicious.
So to start with that, we have some fried plantain.
Fried plantain.
That goes in the bottom in our ring. So fried plantain. So we're trying to bring a little bit of tropical flavors.
Beautiful. I love plantains. They're such a versatile thing to cook with, right? Like you can really do a lot with them.
Yes, and the sweetness of it is what's kind of like interests me. So there'll be plantain and then avocado. So this is like more of like a bomb of flavors.
Oh, and
so
look at all
for
the
salad,
beautiful colors
yes.
too, right? There's
So
many
then we're
colors.
gonna go with some avocados in there, which we already sliced. So we'll pack a little bit of avocados in there.
Is it nerve-wracking competing in something, or not competing, but being in something like this where you only have 30 minutes? Because that's a pretty short time.
It's a pretty short time, but as long as like you're prepared, have your mise en place, a term you've probably heard a lot, like already, it's not too bad. 30 guests isn't overly difficult.
Okay.
But it's just about being prepared and ready.
Knowing what you're going to make.
Yeah.
And I mean, 24 chefs, that's a big number of you as well.
Yeah, it's a 12-hour, half-hour each. Like it's a phenomenal event, a phenomenal idea, and I love the like marathon style chefing.
Chefing, I love that, and all for a good cause,
means
which
I don't
you
need to
mentioned.
run.
Yes, that's right. You're going to be running in the kitchen all day long. Okay, so what else are you adding here? This looks
So
stunning.
we got some char corns, and then we have a little bit of radish. So it's more of like colors and also flavors, just to try to understand all these different flavors. Then we have our house-made balsamic vinaigrette. So it's a little bit spicy.
Okay.
Just to kind of like make everything interesting.
Give it a little kick, give it some flavor, right? I love that.
Exactly. And then we'll finish that with our house-made pickled onions.
Pickled onions.
Yeah.
Wow. It's almost like a work of art creating this.
Yeah.
And then do you add the barbecue chicken as well?
Yes.
Yep.
So the
That's
barbecue
the last
chicken,
step.
yes, that will go, which...
And tell me about your barbecue chicken, because this looks like it took you some time to create.
Yes. So first we do is we debone the chicken thigh.
Okay.
And then we season it. Then after that, we do a roulade. So we roll it, pretty much of like, kind of like
I think over here, you just show what's in the center.
Yeah, so that's just red bell peppers. Like, so we kind of like season that for 30 minutes, then also add it in the chicken.
It smells phenomenal, delicious. And where would you add the chicken to this dish?
Then for this dish, the chicken will go right around the ring. Yes. So we take our stuffed chicken thigh.
I see. So you're making like a real work of art.
Yes. Kind of something like that.
Beautiful. That's incredible.
And then the fun part now is
taking it out, taking it off,
out,
and trying to keep it round.
Yes.
Oh, looks fantastic. What are you looking forward to about participating this weekend?
Pretty much, first of all, it's like to say thank you.
Yeah.
Like, always trying to give back, you know, like, So it's a good thing for me because all these chefs, some of these chefs that will be around, these chefs kind of like watch me growing and then being invited for something like that, being around amazing chefs, this is, it means a lot to me, especially that we're doing something amazing, raising money for the Food Bank of Ottawa, which is a good thing.
And how can people find the barbecue joint?
The barbecue joint mostly on Instagram or on Google. It's the barbecue joint. Catering on Google, and then on Instagram, it's the barbecue joint _.
Okay, wonderful. And you're available for catering all summer long?
Yes, all summer long.
Looks delicious. Oh my goodness, the smells in here are absolutely beautiful. And how can people find you at Tradici?
Yeah, so you can Google us and find our reservation site via that, or you can look us up on Instagram at tradici.ottawa.
And a Gothic Italian flair, I mean, that sounds very intriguing. I like it.
Yeah, it just went with our speakeasy vibes. At the moment, we only have 13 seats, so it's a reservation recommended for sure.
Incredible. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today, and best of luck this weekend because that's no easy feat to cook 30 minutes for 30 different people, so we appreciate you coming in and giving us a little sample here tonight.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And if you have an idea for us in your morning kitchen, we would love to hear from you. The best way to reach us is via email at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. Here's a live look at our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It looks sunny, but it is a little cold out there. Still feels like -5 with that wind chill. Good morning, Ottawa. It is 8:46. with its incredible wildlife-rich culture and inspiring conservation efforts, Uganda is quickly becoming one of the most talked about destinations in Africa. It's one of travel expert Lorraine Simpson's favorite countries to visit. Lorraine has also written a children's book inspired by Uganda's gorillas, who we're calling Gus here today, joining us here on the show as well. And of course, it is being shared in schools. And you're joining us in studio this morning, along with our Gus, our gorilla.
Isn't he lovely?
He is so lovely because he stays still and he listens and he's quiet. And I love that.
It's perfect.
Okay, first of all, tell us about Uganda and why it's one of the places, because I think when a lot of Canadians think about it, they may not put this on their travel destination list, but they should.
They really should. It's a very safe destination, and it just makes you feel warm and welcome. First time I ever went, I really didn't have it on my bucket list. And then when I went there, I fell in love with it. The people, the culture, the places, and also the gorillas. You know, he's sitting here like this, but actually you can go gorilla trekking, and he may be sitting just like that, as close as you are to me, Melissa, and in the forest. It's called Bwindi Impenetrable Forest.
Oh my goodness, tell us more, because we're seeing some video and this is absolutely incredible that you can experience this.
Yeah, it's amazing. So you can get really close to them. You can go gorilla trekking in Bwindi Impenetrable Forest. There's only 1,000, a little bit over 1,000 gorillas left in the wild. So we really need to conserve them. And Uganda is leading the way in conservation for gorillas. And, you know, you can really get very close and just sit there and observe. And they take you right into the forest. The people will lead you and guide you through the forest. And it's just a magical experience.
Oh my goodness, I bet.
Absolutely wonderful.
And what makes Uganda a little bit different than other destinations in Africa?
Well, you can see the big five, but not only the big five, you can see the big seven. So it's the only place on earth that actually you can see the entire big seven. And when we say the big seven, we of course include the big five and then these guys, the gorillas, and the chimpanzees. And you can go gorilla trekking and chimp trekking all in the same trip. So then in the morning, you can be in this beautiful savanna looking at tree climbing lions.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they actually climb trees. And then in the afternoon, you can go up to the Bwindi Impenetrable Forest. And you know in Bali, where you see the hillside, which is sort of like this with the plantations on it, that's what it looks like. It's stunning, absolutely stunning. And then in the afternoon, you can cross the equator. And if you're really into running, you can even run in a marathon that crosses the equator twice.
Oh, that's so
Isn't that
incredible. Tell us about the cultural experience as well.
Well, the people are going to be the most warm, welcoming people that you've ever met in your life. Very, very hospitable, just wonderful people. And the culture, there's 50 languages. English is the main language, and also Swahili, but there's another 50 languages as well. But everybody will speak English, and you're going to feel very safe there. It's a really wonderful situation.
And last but not least, tell us about your children's book that you just wrote.
So I wanted to write this because I wanted to talk about conservation, and I wanted to teach our granddaughter, who's 6 years old, about conservation and why I love Uganda, why I love the gorillas. And so I decided, when the baby was born recently in Bwindi Impenetrable Forest, I wrote a book, and this is Neru, and this is his forest. And it's why we should save the forests, and why we have to learn about conservation, and why conservation is such an important topic, and why also Uganda is leading the way in the conservation.
And how can people pick up your book?
They can go onto my website, lorrainesimpson.com, and they can also contact the Uganda mission here right in Ottawa, and they could even get it there. They can walk into the office and they can pick one up. But we're also donating hundreds and hundreds of copies to schools through the Uganda High Commission.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, thank you for putting Uganda on our destination list. And of course, you can head to exploreuganda.com for more information. And And that is all the time we have for us here on Your Morning Ottawa. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Of course, we will be back here bright and early tomorrow morning. And just a reminder that we are expecting some scattered showers into the afternoon. We're expecting a bit of a soggy day in the forecast for you. 6 degrees is a high, so at least it'll be nice and warm. But then cold conditions are on the way overnight tonight and into your day tomorrow. A little bit frosty for your Friday. We'll see you here tomorrow morning. Have a great day.